Good afternoon, everyone that's here so far. We're just going to wait a few minutes for some more to arrive, and then we'll proceed.
I've not let them in yet, JC.
Okay.
I'll admit them now.
Thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. We're just going to wait a few minutes for others to join.
You're muted, JC.
Apologies. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. We're delighted to be sat here with you at such an exciting time for charities with the impact AI is having. BOM IT Solutions have partnered with Microsoft Tech for Social Impact and are delighted to be working together to support the UK charity not-for-profit sector. My name is James Cowell, and also on today's webinar is Nav from Microsoft Tech for Social Impact, Tom Trowbridge, Relationship Manager for BOM IT Solutions. And after the live demonstration of Copilot, we'll have a guest appearance from one of our partner charity CEOs who's on an exciting mission to raise £8 million. So within the hour today, we aim to provide you with a targeted Microsoft Copilot experience and ignite your interest in utilising Copilot. We'll provide you with overviews of BOM and Microsoft Tech for Social Impact. what Copilot is, how its technology works, prerequisites and implementation, and its exciting benefits. Moving into a live demo, a day in the life of a charity function. As a final note, there's also a live Q&A throughout the presentation, so please feel free to submit your questions in the Q&A area as they arise, and we'll endeavour to answer your questions in real time. So, at BOM, our approach is to provide people-first technology. We start with the needs of our customers and work with our partners to deliver the best technology solutions for their organisation. Whether a small startup or an established enterprise organisation, we have the experience and technology solutions to elevate your performance. We have a continual alignment to Microsoft, from cloud to cybersecurity, and now with a new wave of artificial intelligence through Microsoft Copilot. BOM are anchored in the Southwest, serving organisations within the UK, some of who have global operations and footprints. We've worked with charities and companies of all sizes, sectors and technology requirements, and for over 65 years, BOM has deepened its work with the local community and significantly with charities over the last 10 or so years across the UK. I'm delighted to reveal to you today BOM's new charity sector division, People First Technology. 80% of charities are people orientated, and those that aren't, every charity has people that need technology to empower their roles and therefore their charity's mission. The impact of AI is real. Copilot is the biggest thing since cloud. History has taught us that technology drives GDP growth and the pace of change is accelerating. Microsoft are investing millions of dollars a month into R&D for Copilot alone. With this in mind, I feel it's the right time now to hand over to Nav from Microsoft Tech for Social Impact to talk you through their offering. Thanks, Nav.
Thank you very much, James. And yeah, just to reiterate, happy Friday, everybody. Much appreciate your time today, and thank you for the great stuff that you guys are doing in the non-profit sector. And I'm proud to be here today to share with you more about our efforts to create a positive impact for the people and planet. But I just want to start by saying that I think I've got probably one of the best jobs here at Microsoft, right? It's a bit of a statement, but I get to work with our partners such as BOM, but I also get to see some of the amazing stuff that you guys are doing in the non-profit sector. So again, a massive thank you for that, and a huge thank you for carving out the time to join us on this webinar today. The next slide, please, James. Thank you. So at Microsoft, we believe that technology is a powerful force for empowering people and organizations, right? So we see it every day, whether it's in our work, whether it's data, it's AI helping predict malaria outbreaks, or humanitarian organizations that are delivering digital literacy to displaced people. And we truly believe that the success of the non-profit sector is critical to how we achieve our mission as a company. But to do this, we need to make the benefit of world-class technology accessible and relevant for non-profits, NGOs and IGOs. So as a customer-first, partner-led company, we start with the needs of our customers, and we work with our partners such as BOM to deliver the best outcomes for each organisation. Next slide, please, James. So we take a look at the world. It's changed so much in profound and fundamental ways. Now, we've seen the role of technology have a positive impact as we've all tried to survive through this pandemic. The level of technology adoption has rapidly accelerated. Now, as we think about that pace of transformation, we need to understand what are consequences of that transformation, as well as what our role in that transformation is. Next slide, please. Now, we see a digital divide and opportunity continuing to grow, but many, many people are left behind. The number of children in sub-Saharan Africa that are literate at the age of 10, so that's when you stop learning to read and you read to learn, is 10%. That means 90% of children can't read in sub-Saharan Africa. That means they can't get a job. That means the economic opportunity gap is growing, and COVID had an impact, and technology has a role to play. We look at the persistent fundamental rights issues, and we're seeing tragic and unlawful wars unfolding, and we see human rights today and every day on the news that are being violated all over the world, and technology also has a role to play there. We also see an urgent climate crisis. So in 2021, at the end of June, it was 106 degrees Fahrenheit in Seattle. In the Netherlands, it was also baking at that time. And I believe we also just had the hottest January on record. Now, that's not normal. And there's a role for technology to play in supporting the world to become a better, cooler place. And then lastly, there's this diminishing trust in big technology organizations. There's questions about our motives. our motivations, but it's critical that we apply the technology and innovations to address these challenges without sacrificing our core values like trust, privacy, transparency, and inclusion. Next slide. Thank you. So we realized we needed to evolve and think about a different business model role in supporting societal changes and organizations that serve this purpose. So in 2017, Microsoft Philanthropies brought its contribution efforts together with commercial sales and business development, and we created Tech for Social Impact. We created Tech for Social Impact to empower every non-profit and humanitarian organization to accelerate social good. Now, as we work to help everyone achieve more, we're committed to sharing our learnings and reporting our progress across a variety of societal causes, such as affordable housing, digital skilling, and climate change, just to name a few. Now, I'll give you a couple of examples. Microsoft's reduced 21 million metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalents by our top suppliers. And each month, we analyze over 470 billion emails for malware and phishing attempts. So we combine our grants with non-profit commercial engagements in a single team to accelerate impact through technology, deliver solutions to empower breakthroughs, and also help accelerate our philanthropic efforts through our partners and those of our partners. So globally, non-profits receive 1.9 billion in donated, discounted technology and services. But we don't only provide grants. We also reinvest any profits made from discounted sales to larger charities back in the sector to help smaller ones. We give free software to those with 10 or fewer employees, which makes up, I believe, about 80% of the world's 4 million non-profit organizations. And we also help non-profits modify Microsoft's software to help with their specific needs, such as fundraising and mobilizing volunteers, in part connecting them with willing helpers in the company's global partner ecosystem. And we also offer free digital skills training. So as of March 2021, over 30 million learners were reached as part of our global skills initiative. And we're committed to helping in the following ways. So we look at affordable technology solutions. We work closely with nonprofits to create purpose-built solutions on technologies across all of our product stacks. And we're committed to helping nonprofits get access to best practices, reference architectures, and faster data insights. Capacity building. So delivering technology isn't the whole answer. So we recognise in TSI that capacity building is often the key to successful adoption of new digital technology. And that's why we're committed to helping organisations get access to training and certifications to improve their digital skills. And then we've got the partner ecosystem. We leverage thousands of commercial customers to create a healthy ecosystem of partners that are dedicated to delivering solutions and services designed specifically for the nonprofit sector. And then there's the social investment model. Incremental funds after costs covered will go back into the team and charitable contributions. Next slide, please. So the work that we do at TSI and the broader philanthropies is perhaps some of the best and most powerful in bringing all of these pillars to life. And the TSI team is truly committed to the sector and the idea that it's absolutely core to our mission to empower every nonprofit and international development organisation with technology to accelerate the social good. And we've got so many examples of how we directly do this. I'm just going to show you a few now. Next slide, please. So our partnership with UNICEF actually is a really good example of how we directly support inclusive economic growth. As I mentioned to you guys a couple of minutes ago, 10% of children aged 10 in sub-Saharan Africa can read and 90% cannot. UNICEF terms this as a gap called learning poverty. If you can't read, it's very hard to learn, which in turn impacts your economic prospects. Now, through our Passport Learning Partnership, we've deployed community training to assist with crisis in 23 countries, and 20 more are in process. And millions of kids have registered, and nearly 300,000 have completed training. And actually, some of the hardest to reach locations are adopting the fastest. So the two biggest adopters at the moment, with tens of thousands of kids learning, are Laos and Somalia. Next slide, please, James. And then when we look at our work in committing to a sustainable future, who's helping us there? The National Forest Foundation is a non-profit that works to preserve and protect wildlife and forestry across 193 million acres of national forest system. So in partnership with Threshold World, the National Forest Foundation was able to implement our Microsoft Cloud solutions. They're now able to track donor dollars, quantify the impact of their work, and further their mission of environmental restoration and conservation. So essentially, each dollar that's raised translates directly to another tree that's planted or preserved. Next slide, please. Thanks. So how do we protect fundamental rights? So United Kingdom-based Barnardos connects hundreds of thousands of families and children in need with valuable social services each year. And they're especially passionate about protecting the fundamental rights and safety and health of children. But to best make most of those connections, they must ensure that their employees have technology they need to work efficiently and accurately. And the organisations also need to show that potential donors that the work they're doing has a concrete impact. So by deploying Microsoft Cloud technologies and service devices, they've been able to help their employees be more effective in the field. And they've also gained valuable reporting capabilities. And they've been essential in securing funding to help during the increased demand, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. Next slide, please. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's a number of offers available from Microsoft for non-profits. These offers are available straight off the bat to you guys. Even if you don't do anything else, take advantage of these. Make sure you're registered with Microsoft as a non-profit. If you've got any challenges, any questions around that, you can speak to your partners, BOM. They can guide you through that. I know this webinar is around Copilot specifically. There's no discount, unfortunately, for Copilot at the moment. This may be reviewed in the future, but again, please stay in touch with your partners, and they can advise you on any questions you may have around how to register. If you're a non-profit, I always say it's probably one of the easiest grants that you ever register for in your life. It's a 2 or 3 question, and then it takes about 3 or 4 days for you guys to get approved and get a non-profit tenant set up, and then you can take advantage of these offers straight off the bat. Next slide, please. Thank you. So hopefully that demonstrates that supporting non-profits is part of who we are, right? It's in our DNA. We've been engaged with charity since 1983, the inception of our employee giving campaign. But really, our work's only just begun. This year marks our 7th year anniversary, and we're more motivated than ever. But reaching our vision at real scale requires a broad base of amazing non-profits and teammates like you guys in every corner of the globe. In 2022, we provided 3.8 billion in grants and discounted software and services, and we equipped 325,000 non-profits with modern, secure, and scalable cloud solutions. Now, just to put that into perspective, if we were a country, we would be I believe it's the 12th largest country globally in terms of giving back. So huge numbers, and we're growing on that year on year. We also donated 242 million by Microsoft employees, which includes company match. And then in July 2020, we launched an initiative to help 25 million people worldwide acquire the digital skills that were very much needed in a COVID-19 economy. So everything that we do is driven by this deep sense of purpose and timeless values of trust, privacy, transparency, and inclusion. And I think that's the values that our customers have come to expect of us, and that today's fast changing society requires of us. Next slide, please. So just to wrap up the TSI overview, the question really is, what is our role in modern day? Now, Milton Friedman, who's a renowned economist, some of you may know him by name, I'm sure, said that the role of a company is to serve its shareholders. That greed is good, but the definition has evolved because it turns out that companies don't operate in some parallel universe or some vacuum outside of the planet. We're all affected by the world around us, whether it's global warming or it's poverty or it's our next market in Africa. Billions of people in our world are affected. So the new definition of what a company needs to do, as every company, came from the Business Roundtable, where 181 CEOs come together and they say the role of a company is not just to serve its shareholders, but the role of a company is to serve its stakeholders. And our stakeholders are our employees, our partners such as BOM, and most importantly, it's you guys, it's our customers, and that's the communities that we operate in. So the philosophy is pretty simple. Companies that can do more should do more. And I think in partnership with our partner ecosystem, we are absolutely doing more. So with that, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to me today. And I'll speak to you guys again in a bit. Over to you, James.
Thanks, Nav. Greatly appreciated. So ultimately, Copilot is your AI assistant at work. Copilot for Microsoft 365 isn't just a better way of doing the same thing, it's an entirely new way of working. You're always in control, however. You decide what to keep, modify, or discard. Let's take a quick look at this video to give you a flavour of Copilot in action. Fantastic. Well, as you probably noticed, Copilot is embedded across all of Microsoft 365 apps and works alongside you. The apps you probably spend 90% of your time each day using. So let's hear a little bit about the technology that underpins Copilot. Tom, over to you.
Thank you, James. So a high-level overview of the Copilot technology starts with ChatGPT-4. So we've all heard so much about this. It is the underpinning of Copilot. It's arguably the market leader for large language models, and Microsoft are working alongside OpenAI to continue their growth. If you're not familiar with large language models, the easiest way to think of it is like a brain that's been fed all the information that's publicly available and which we are able to ask questions of through Copilot. So, talking to Copilot harnesses natural language processing, which is the ability to use plain English for prompts, with Copilot upgrading from a simple keyword search. You can talk like you would to any colleague, which is great because Copilot understands the sentiment behind your prompts too. Following on, semantic indexing is the magic that helps Copilot understand the prompt sentiment using all the data available to you in your organization. It creates a map of how you work and who often creates which documents and for what purpose. So when you input a prompt, Copilot is actually running the prompt against the background of all information available to you in your organization, which returns much more accurate and relevant responses. So, coming on to security and data protection, the easiest way to think about Copilot is it's unique to each user. So whichever documents you have access to, that is all your Copilot can see too. Access limitations and labeling policies are respected completely, meaning Copilot will not add any risk to your organizational data. We at BOM can certainly help you on your path to using Copilot securely. It even allows you to select which geographic locations your data is processed in, which can be vital in regulated industries, with the data transport secure and industry-leading protocols as well. Your data searches and prompts will never be used to train the large language model. So now we understand a little bit more about the technology side of things. Let's look at some of the benefits that are already being felt in industry. Back to you, James. You're on mute, James.
My apologies, guys. These things happen. 87% of leaders believe AI will give their organization a competitive edge. 18 months ago, we've not expected to even be sat here today talking about generative AI. So we haven't even ever experienced diffusion at this scale in technology in the industry. Last year, 64% of employees said they struggled with not having enough time and energy in their day-to-day to get work done. This is where Microsoft Copilot can help. 81% reporting increased productivity and 76% improving work quality. It's only going to get better from here. In the simplest form, the prerequisites of Copilot are: Copilot is an additional license. You can have one seat for the commitment of a year, or you can have as many seats as you need within the organization. Cloud requirements: whatever you want to see must be stored in the cloud for Copilot to understand what it needs to do. And Copilot can only see what's in OneDrive and on SharePoint. Security: your security posture, as Tom alluded to, is very important. Implementation: the model you can see on the screen is the Microsoft current best way of known way to implement Microsoft Copilot across organizations and sectors. Further takeaways is that even the most advanced organizations using Copilot to date are still at points 2 and 3 of this implementation model right now. So start with a small number of users and build from there. Right, the live demo today will be tailored through the lens of the fundraising function based on signups. At all functional levels, certain capabilities of Copilot can impact people based on their roles. Here's a few functions you can see on the screen, illustrating that no matter what your role is, Copilot can help. I'm now going to pass the conch to Naveed for a live demo. Over to you, Nav. Thanks.
Thanks, James. Thanks, Tom. Much appreciated. Right, guys. So yeah, I'm just going to jump straight into this. So what we've done is you guys are seeing a lot of Copilot stuff on social media at the moment. You know, you would have had to been asleep for the last 3 months not to seen anything what's going on. There's just been so much noise about it over social media. But I think a lot of the stuff that we're seeing is commercial, right? How commercial organizations can use Copilot and how they can benefit from using Copilot. But really, we've not seen enough in the non-profit. And, you know, we eat and breathe non-profit. That's what we do here at TSI. So what we've done is we've worked with BOM and we've put together a Copilot demonstration, but it's almost a day in the life of a non-profit using it. So we built a persona, a lady called Emma, and she works for an organization called Brighter Horizons, which is a charity for children's mental health and brighter futures for children. And what we're going to do is we're just going to run a demo and we're going to sort of touch on each application and show you the benefits of Copilot, and hopefully it'll be quite impressive stuff that will sort of resonate with you guys. So I'm just going to share my screen, guys. 1 second. Let me know when you can see it. You see that? Perfect. Good. All right. Excellent. So what we've done is we've put together a documentation with the prompts on there, just for the essence of time. You know, we haven't got long, so we don't want to be messing around with putting the wrong prompts in. So essentially, Emma, as mentioned, she is a fundraising manager and she's from Brighter Horizons. So she's going to use the external web search tool to find past successful fundraising strategies used by the charity. So this is documentation she's got within the organization already. It can be stored all over the place, right? But it's in the cloud, it's in the organization, it's past fundraising strategies that she's used at the charity. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this prompt. This is a work search prompt. I'm going to go to Copilot. So this is Copilot. So you've got work and web at the top here. And we're going to click on work. So this takes the insight from our existing organization. I'm going to paste the prompt in here. So I'm going to ask it to provide me with any information we have within the business regarding successful fundraising strategies. And this information can be placed on multiple different sources internally, but it's going to get it all, bring it all together and present it back. So here we go. And again, guys, this is a live demo, so apologies if there's any hiccups here, but I've got my trusted colleague, Tom, on hand. I'm sure he can help us out. So. And there you can see what it's done is bringing up information within the organization around past successful fundraising strategies. So as mentioned, this data is already in the organization. It's on multiple sources within the organization, SharePoint, OneDrive. It's dragged it all in and it's presented it to you here. And it's also given you reference points at the bottom here, so you can see exactly where this information was stored originally within the organization. So instantly you've got access to that information. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to our prompts and we're going to do a web search prompt. So this is where it takes the insight from the web, from the public domain, essentially. And I'm going to ask it to provide me with some links to previously successful fundraising ideas. So what she needs is she needs some ideas basically on how to do a fundraising campaign, right? So she's going to ask the public domain on giving her some information. So what I do is I switch it to web at the top here. I go to the search box, I put the prompt in, press enter. And remember, guys, this is all about prompting. There is no length to what the prompt can be. The longer your prompt, the more detailed your prompt, the better the outcome. And there we have it. Here's some ideas that we can consider for our cause. It's even given us a little bit of a picture there. So it's given us some ideas on how we can execute a fundraising campaign. And again, you can ask it more at the bottom. You can say, don't like this, give me more information, and it'll give you more ideas. Go back to the prompts. And again, remember, guys, when it comes to work, it's all about the data in your organization. So it needs to be secure. You need to have all your data in the cloud. You need to have the data with the right permissions, because what you don't want is you don't want the wrong information getting in the wrong hands. For example, you don't want to see another employee's appraisal. You don't want to know what salaries they're on. You don't want any other employees knowing what salaries you're on. This information is already in the organization, but you don't have access to it. You don't know where it is and how to find it. But Copilot can do that. So if it's not got the right permissions, it's easily and readily available. So you need to work with your partners to make sure that your data, first of all, is moved into the cloud, and secondly, it's categorized the right way and the permissions are set the right way. So, and then as I said, the web is just coming from the public domain. So now what we're going to do is Emma's going to draft a formal proposal for the event. So for the fundraising event, she wants to draft a formal proposal, but she's going to outline the purpose, goals, target audience, and logistics. And we're going to get Word to do this for us. We haven't got the time to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste this prompt. And it's quite an in-depth prompt here, because what we're asking of Word is we're saying, write a fundraising proposal for our charity event, hosting an auction night in the town hall. We're asking to outline the purpose, the goals, the target audience, and logistics. And we're also saying that this is going to be an internal document aimed at colleagues. So we're telling it this is an internal document. It doesn't need to be aimed at external guys. It's internal, and we want to get them to agree to the idea. We want it to be 2 pages in length. So it's so granular, we're asking it how long we want it to be. So I've just copied this prompt. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Word. I'm going to open Word. I'm going to open new document. And when you open Word and you have a Copilot license, you have a Copilot logo up here on the right. You have a Copilot button here. Click on the Copilot button, brings up the Copilot box. I'm going to paste the prompt in there. Again, write a fundraising proposal for our charity event of hosting auction night in town hall, outlining a purpose, goals, target audience, and logistics. This is an internal document aimed at getting colleagues to agree to the idea. Now, if you were to write something like this, it's going to take you, I'm terrible at writing. It would probably take me a good couple of days, and I don't know what you guys are like, but it definitely wouldn't be as quick as this. And now we're going to generate this, and we're going to see how quickly this gives us the results. And there we have it. So it's given us an introduction. And guys, this is Copilot's brain working away here. This information isn't available anywhere. This is Copilot building this from what we've told it to do. It's built us an introduction. It's saying the venue can accommodate up to 300 people. It's given us the purpose and goals, which we asked it to do. It's told us about the target audience and market strategy, which we asked it to do. It's still generating. Once it's done, it will stop, but it will keep going until it's done everything we've asked it to do. Logistics and budgets. Again, the location which we asked, it's in the town hall, so it's highlighted that. located at 123 Main Street. Guys, remember as well, this is Copilot, not Autopilot, all right? So this is giving you a base to work with. You wouldn't just send this email to your employees. You would read this, you would sanity check this, you would edit it accordingly before you send it out, all right? So never, ever just go, right, Copilot's done it, I'm sending it out. Please just double check everything and make sure you've got the right figures in there. For example, this is dollars, we're in the UK, you know, we've got pounds. So just make sure everything's changed. But again, fantastic base to work from. So that's still going. So in the interest of time, what I might do is let's just let it go. Actually, it's done now. So yeah, call to action, conclusion. We've got logistics and budgets. We've got target audience market strategy. We've got purpose and goals introduction. You know what? I'm actually looking at this and going, this, yeah, it's a little bit formal. Considering I'm going to be presenting this to my colleagues, I want it to be a bit more casual, right? So I'm going to say, make it casual. Same content, but a lot more casual. So instead of, you know, hey there, and, you know, much more casual language we're using. But you can change it. You can even make it a poem. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can make it a poem. You can make it shorter, longer, casual, funny, exciting. You can ask it anything and Copilot will do it for you. So I'm going to stop that generating because I'm sure you don't want to go through that again, but it gives you an idea and a base to work from. Now, so she's drafted the proposal and now her colleagues are on board with the idea. She's drafted the proposal. She shared it with her colleagues. They're all happy. They're like, yeah, this is great, Emma. We love it. So what she's going to do now is she's going, right, guys, I want you all in a room. We're going to do a whiteboard session. And I don't know if you guys have used Microsoft Whiteboard, but, you know, gone are the days of sticky notes everywhere. And, you know, people now use Microsoft Whiteboard, and it's a great way of assigning tasks and, you know, all of that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do is I've got Whiteboard open here, actually. Where is it? Where is it? There we are. OK. So Whiteboard here. So Whiteboard is a web app. So whiteboard.office.com. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my prompts. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a prompt into Whiteboard. And the prompt is going to be, create a collaborative whiteboard for our auction fundraising event planning. List all the actions that need to be taken prior to the launch event. So this is going to be actions that we're going to delegate to each individual within the organization that are on this project. And then we're going to stick it in a whiteboard format pretty instantaneously. So click on the Copilot logo at the bottom. We click on suggest. We go to the box. We paste the prompt in. But remember, guys, as I mentioned earlier, you know, there is no limit to the prompt. The more you put in, the better the result. So let's do this. So far, so good. I'm hoping this works. There we go. It's worked. So now what we're going to do is we've got set event dates, secure venue, create guest list, develop market plan, design promotional materials, establish ticket prices. So these are all different actions. But actually, I want to put a few more in there. So I'm going to say generate more. We need some more actions because those guys aren't doing any work. So, right, good. We've got loads of actions. So now I want to insert these. And oh, that's a bit of a mess. So what I want to do is I want to categorize this so it's easier to read. So there we go. Now it's categorized. So we've got the event date, we've got the venue, we've got the guest list, we've got the marketing plan and other. And what we can do is each one of these actions can be assigned to an employee internally. So instantly you've got a whiteboard, you've got your actions, and everyone knows what they're doing. Now the tasks have been assigned for Emma, and she's given everybody in the organization something to do. She now wants to design some promotional slides, including using Microsoft PowerPoint, and she wants to include event details such as impact stories, donation information, all of that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask PowerPoint to do that for us. We haven't got the time to do that. We're going to say, Copilot, do it for us. So we're going to copy this prompt, which is create a visually appealing and vibrant pictorial slide to be presented at our charity event using using the document, highlight the impact stories from our prior donations testimonials. Now, this is a really interesting prompt because what we're doing is we're actually referencing another document to build this PowerPoint. So we've saved a document in OneDrive already, or in SharePoint. It's there in the cloud, and we're going to say to PowerPoint, look at that document for us, PowerPoint, and build us a presentation based on the content in that document. Now, this is amazing because this has never been done before. You've never been able to build PowerPoint presentations from Word documents, right? You can look at it, read it, and go, great, okay, I'll build it manually. So this is going to reference a document. So this is quite impressive stuff. So if we go to PowerPoint and I go to File, New, I'm going to open a new PowerPoint presentation. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to open Copilot. I'm going to paste the prompt. Can't remember if I copied that prompt. Did I copy that prompt? Let's have a look. So if I go back to Word, yeah, so this prompt here, copy that prompt. And I'm going to go in the prompt section. I'm going to paste the prompt, but see this / here. I'm going to delete this because this is basically the document that we want. So I'm going to delete. So every time you put /, it will open up the files you've got saved on your computer. Not on your computer, apologies, incorrect, in the cloud. Let me correct. So it's in the cloud, so SharePoint, OneDrive. So whatever you got saved in the cloud, it will reference these files. Now, the file that we want to reference is charity event information. So this is the charity event information document that we've got, what's happening at the charity event, and we want to build a presentation from that. So I'll click on that. It's now referenced that document in red. I'm going to ask it to create me a visually appealing, vibrant pictorial slide. So hopefully this will create a presentation, and what you can do is you can use Designer to make it more interesting, add more color, more images, but you can also make sure you're abiding by the organization's brand guidelines, which is very, very important these days. So once the presentation is there, you've got a nice base to work from. There we go. So now what it's done, it's generated a brief agenda for us. It's now generating the slides. Now, the really interesting thing about this, which blows me away, is it doesn't just provide you with the slides, it also gives you a talk track. So instantly you're in a position to be able to present these back to whoever you are presenting the slides to. So see at the bottom here, you have a talk track. And it's a comprehensive set of slides there. You've got 16 slides. You've even got images in there. You can go to Designer. You could say, there's a load of prompts here. You could ask it to make it smaller. Are there any deadlines in this presentation? Show action time, show me the key slides in this deck. So yeah, loads of prompts. There's not enough time today for me to go through all the prompts, but there's so much you can do with PowerPoint. But you've got yourself a base here of a presentation which you can work with. So now we've did that, what we're going to do is Emma wants to send personalized sponsorship emails using Microsoft Outlook. So she's done all that hard work and now she wants to send emails using Outlook, right? And she wants to attach the fundraising proposal she's put together and highlights the benefits for the sponsors. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to copy this page, this prompt here. Again, a fairly detailed prompt. Create me an email to send to potential donors to try and increase sponsorship for the charity auction night in June. Include information on the cause of the charity, impacts of donations, and the positive impact the charity has made so far, and the information on the auction night in June in the town hall. I go to Outlook. And guys, remember, there's two Outlooks. There's an old Outlook and then there's a new Outlook. So if you're going to be doing this, you have to be switched over to the new one, okay? So I'm going to open a new email. Right, so we have the new email here. So what you do is you've got the Copilot logo here at the top. There's draft with Copilot and there's coaching. So draft with Copilot is if you're a bit like me, not very good at writing, and it shows you how to draft an email using Copilot. And then you have coaching. So if you're pretty good with words and you're comfortable with writing emails, you can ask Copilot to coach it to make sure it's not too long, the grammatically correct, all of that sort of stuff. But because I'm not the brightest tool in the box, I'm going to use draft with Copilot. So I'm going to click on the prompt. I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to ask it to create me an email to send potential donors to try and increase sponsorship to the charity auction night in June, include information on the cause, impacts of donations, positive impact for the charity has made so far, and information on auction night. And we're going to ask it, I might even just add in there, ask them to bring their pets. Bit random, but yeah. Oh, okay, that didn't work. Maybe we'll get rid of the pets thing. Maybe that was even a bit too random, even with Copilot to comprehend. So we'll delete that. Let's try it again. Superb. All right, good. Here we go. So we got ourselves an email, and it's done exactly what we asked it to do. It's given us the date of where it is, what it's going to feature, you know, the benefits of the sponsors, and what the mission is. So you've got something there you can now work with. Again, don't just send this straight off. Please take a look at it. Make sure you sanity check it. Make sure you know it will be grammatically correct, but just make sure the content is correct there as well.
Got about 8 minutes now, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem. So now what we're going to do is, now Emma has sent a personalized email to sponsors. We're now going to post event. The event's happened, by the way. So we're now going to use Microsoft Excel, where she's going to create a spreadsheet that's titled Trivia Night Donors. She's recorded all the information from the event that's happened, the total takings, all that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Excel, and you can see here all of the donations, how they were made, when they were made, who made them, the date they were made on. We're going to go to Copilot. We're going to manipulate and analyze the data a little bit. I'm no good in Excel. I don't know many people that are really good at Excel. So this is really, really, really good. So let's insert table.
Just deselect the top line of it, Nav, with the auction night donors headline. Just deselect that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I've selected too much. Okay,
that's okay.
Perfect. Spot on. So now so again, yeah, you have to highlight the table so Copilot knows what areas you're looking at. And we're going to say, show data insights. Give some data insights into this data. And again, these are just some preset prompts, but again, you can put whatever prompts you want in there. You can ask it to sort it by donation amount. You can ask it to sort it by location, sort it alphabetically, sort it by payment method, all of that sort of stuff. So it's given me a few insights about this now. So I want to add all of these insights to the grid to make it look like I've been working really, really hard with this spreadsheet. As you can see here, it's added all the insights to the okay. Hasn't yet, it should do. Okay, so there's a bit of a problem there. I don't know why it's doing that. It was doing it fine earlier, but maybe a bandwidth issue. But when you click on add all insights to grid, what it will do is it will hopefully open another sheet and add all the insights to that. But we're not sure why it's doing that at the moment. But yeah, we can revisit that. Wouldn't be a presentation if we had one error, as they say. Right, good. And there's one other thing that I want to show you guys very briefly. I'm conscious that I'm running out of time, but I want to show you something that I find extremely interesting in Copilot, and that is how to summarize a YouTube video. Now, we've all had situations where, you know, we've got video open, it's like an hour and a half long, and you think, well, I haven't got the time to go through this video, but I'd really like to know what the key points of this video were. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to work, and just to stay on the theme of fundraising, I'm going to ask, web, I'm going to ask Copilot to find me a fundraising video. So find me a fundraising YouTube video. Copilot's going to go away and do its thing. It's going to find me some videos around fundraising. Here we go. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so we've got video, so I'll stop. I'll click on this video. So it's giving me the reference points at the bottoms here, which videos. Click on the video here, opens the video up. I'm going to open Copilot, and I'm going to say, let's get past this advert first of all. It's highly annoying. At least we know what conditioner to buy at the weekend now as well. Right, so not one of my favourites, I've got to say. Right, okay, so 5 minutes 39, quite a long video. I'm going to say summarise. Oh, look at that, it knows what I'm going to say. Summarise this video. And what this is going to do, this is going to summarise the video and what was said in the video, but it's going to also give you reference points in the video as well, so you can get to this the part that's more interesting to you without having to listen to the whole video. And again, this is you know, it's a breakthrough. You know, we've never seen this before, and how you can skip through the video to the points that you want without having to listen to or watch the whole video. I'm hoping this works. If not, we'll just come out of this. Let me just close this, guys, and just do this again. So work. Web, just racing. Here we go. So summarize this video or vid. I think Copilot's smart enough to work out what I'm trying to tell it. There we go. So it's summarizing the video. So it tells you exactly what the video is, first of all, but then it also breaks down, highlights, and it gives you reference points of what was said when it was said. So you can scroll 0.48, create a fundraiser. 0.3.08, setting fundraiser goals. So you can stop and skip to where you want to be. But also very quickly, I know, James, I'm running out of time, but I'm just going to quickly show you how you can do the same thing. The same thing with a PDF. We probably come across more PDFs than we do videos in the organization. So find me a charity PDF. I'm just going to ask it to find us a charity PDF, which we can reference. There we go. We've got a few PDFs here. Right. So there we go. We stop. Let's open this one. 17 pages. Nobody wants to read 17 pages of PDF. So we go to Copilot, web. I'm going to ask it to summarize. Summarize a PDF. And there we go. It's a summary of the PDF. So you're not having to read through the whole PDF. It gives you the main points of the PDF. Right, I'm going to stop that and I'm going to talk you through something very quickly. I'm not going to demo it due to time, but there's also something in Word which is really, really handy. So if you guys work with contracts all the time, and you've got one contract and you're given another contract with amendments in the clauses, you can go into Word, as long as both of those contracts are saved in your OneDrive, you can say to Copilot in Word, tell me the differences between the two contracts and reference each contract. Open contract 1, contract 2, and it will compare both contracts, and it will tell you exactly where the changes and the amendments in that contract were made. So you're not having to sit there, look at contracts all day, looking at the differences, you know instantly the amendments that were made in the contract and what the differences are. So you can compare the two files essentially. So hopefully that was helpful. And it hopefully gives you an insight into you know what Copilot is, what its capabilities are. Again, the capabilities are endless, but you know hopefully it gave you a bit of an exciting view into what it can do. And you know, guys, if this is of interest to you guys and you like and you want to see more, please speak to BOM. Cheers, James. You're on mute
Thanks
again.
so much, Nav. Really appreciate it. Thanks for a comprehensive demonstration there. I'm conscious everyone's seen a lot of information today. However, it's very exciting. It could also be seen as slightly overwhelming. So what we've got is a couple of next steps for you all to take away. Our free Copilot readiness assessment and report. We can help you with that journey. We're also offering a free 90-minute one-to-one demonstration session in the next 10 weeks. We'll reach out to you directly with these next steps. Don't expect your charity also to be shiny and polished, completely ready for Copilot. If it is, great. If it isn't, don't worry. Copilot's for everyone, and we can help everyone use Copilot. BOM believes that Copilot will be really big for the not-for-profit sector and all organisations, helping you do day-to-day work more effectively and ultimately focus on the missions that you're on. So, finally, talking about missions. Now for a special edition for a couple of minutes, I'm delighted to introduce our final speaker, Stephanie Wheen, who's the CEO of Gympanzees. Gympanzees, as I mentioned earlier, on a mission to raise £8 million for their new project appeal for the first kind of project of this of its kind in the United Kingdom. So, Stephanie, I'd like to welcome Stephanie to the meeting.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Thanks very much for having me. I'll just quickly give you a bit of a brief background of who we are. So I am actually a physio by trade and discovered this problem with my disabled children that I was treating, that there is a massive lack of accessible leisure facilities for them to play and exercise and meet other children, other families who are in the same situation. It turns out it's about 3/4 of children with disabilities who can't access mainstream leisure. So that's where the idea for Gympanzees came from. Our plan is to open what will be the UK's first fully inclusive exercise and play centre for children and young people with all disabilities from 0 to 25 years old. And to put that into context, an hour outside Bristol, within an hour of Bristol, there's about 66,000 disabled children. So this is a massive need. But because the centre is the first of its kind, we've had to prove our concept. So we've been running pop-up centres in the Easter and summer holidays. These are smaller versions of what our centre is going to be. We've been open now for 141 days, and we've had over 23,000 children visiting us over this time. People are doing a 6-hour round trip for the hour-and-a-half session, staying overnight in hotels. They can come 2 days in a row. And the impacts, the health and well-being impacts, have been incredible, including probably the one that's impacted me the most was 2 3-year-old boys who had their first ever laugh. So we proved our concept, and last year we bought this massive building that you can see in the picture, and we've now launched an 8 million capital campaign to transform this into our centre, which when we open will welcome about 200,000 visitors a year. We are at 2.1 million, so we are well on our way, but we are in a state of growth. We've doubled our team already. Time is very short, and so what we've been talking about today is massive for us. So we've been partnering with BOM for about 2.5 years now. They've been helping us with our managed services, our cloud and security solutions, remote working support, and the provision of tech services. They go further than that. For example, at one of our pop-ups, one of our really key bits of equipment, our interactive sandbox, broke, and this was pretty devastating for a lot of children who love this piece of kit. And we had a quote for many thousands of pounds and about a 2-week lead time from the company to come amend it. And we thought we would speak to BOM, and they jumped to it. I think they were with us the same day, and they fixed the machine tiny fraction of the cost, and you know that was massively helpful. So it's an amazing partnership. We absolutely love being partners with BOM. So we are looking to explore Copilot. We are going to start small. We're going to try our hand at it and see how it works, but I can see such massive impacts. We are, as I said, on this massive journey, and we don't have time. So all these time-saving things, I can see us using it in marketing and fundraising hugely, but also summarising meetings when we can't attend a meeting in person. Yeah, the options are endless. I think it's going to really kind of push us forward to make sure that we do reach this 8 million.
Yeah, I mean that's really just to, sorry to interrupt there, Stephanie. It's really good to hear that, and it's really amazing to hear about the good work that you're doing. But it's also great to hear that you think that Copilot would be able to help you, right? Because we think that
massively.
It's definitely going to be able to help the smaller charities, you know, be on the mission that they're on, as you say, and just do the sort of the day-to-day tasks as well. So it's great to hear that from you, to say that, you know, you believe Copilot will be able to help you with that. So thanks for that.
Thanks.
Thank you ever so much. Well, thank you, Stephanie, for joining us and giving some context there of the charity and obviously how you're looking to utilise Copilot. In summary today, my name is James Cowell, and this is a summary of what we've covered, as you can see on the page. We will follow up with next steps that we've mentioned around the readiness assessment and the Copilot one-to-one demo. And with time where we're at right now, I want to say thank you ever so much for joining us all, and have a lovely and peaceful rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend when it comes around. Thank you ever so much.
Happy Friday, guys. Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.